to slide 3 from the
So
PDF
now,
I sent you this
can I
morning.
actually hop off this call since I'm not on this account?
It's no problem.
Okay,
Go
cool.
ahead, Sean.
Sure. Let's just start off with January 2020. Now, consumer spending is up. If you look at the graph right below.
What page are we on?
I'm sorry, we're on page 12, the second graph from the top.
Okay.
Danielle, turn your camera off.
All right. So if you look, we're 0.15% higher than 2019. We started this quarter off at 2.75%.
Holy shit.
Daniel.
God.
I don't think he's
Daniel.
January.
Can you do that for us?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Call Mika.
Oh my God.
You call Daniel on his cell. Call Daniel on his cell. How do we turn this feed off?
Wow.
We can't.
Oh, hell no.
Daniel. Oh my God. Daniel is the host. Holy.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are tuning in. My name is Jonathan Torres Herrera, and you are watching or listening to the JTH show. Today, before we get started, parental discretion advice, please. I normally don't say this. I'm going to start saying that more because I know that there are some viewers that maybe have some kiddos, but today's episode deals with a reporter who pleasures himself while on a Zoom meeting. Yeah. But first, roll the intro. And you know what I'm going to say. You can listen to this episode and any other episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Radio Public. Yes, of course. In addition, please visit thejthshow.com to see anything that we couldn't upload it to YouTube for, because of YouTube policies, and any other little things that we keep adding on there. We're trying to add a subscription service on there and just a whole bunch of other updates. So just visit thejthshow.com for more information. Okay, let's get started with today's episode. So first, let me read the headline. On Vice.com, there was an article that has definitely made a lot of noise, okay? All over social media, and if you haven't heard about it for some reason, well, here's the intro. New Yorker suspends Jeffrey Toobin for masturbating on Zoom call. Yeah. So we ourselves at SanDiegoTijuana.com covered the topic as well. You can catch our article. One of our writers, wrote his opinion on it as well. And, there's a lot of that right now going around, opinions, right? I have mine. Like I said, my writers have theirs. And, of course, Vice had theirs. And of course, Twitter had theirs. Oh, yeah. Twitter had a blast with this one. In fact, there was a trending hashtag today that was hashtag #MeTooBin. Get it? Yeah. So, as much as I can, kind of like giggle at some of this stuff, I'm very split on this topic. Very, very much split on this. Because, well, there's a side of me, right, that I'm like, ugh, yeah, here we go. Haven't I covered this episode before? In fact, when I was telling our producer here earlier, I'm like, hey, I know it's going to sound repetitive, but guess what? I have another episode about blah, 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 of just another person on a Zoom call. Or any of these virtual calls. In this case, it happened to be a Zoom call, where they decide, you know what? I'm at home. Where's the laptop at? Where's the laptop at?
Where the laptop at? I'm gonna get it.
Where's the lotion? If you guys don't know that reference, that's to Kevin Hart's thing. And it's one of those things where I'm like, you hear it and you're like, they're joking. Is it April? Wait, when this is October, right? Is this a joke? Is it April Fool's? What is going on with people? I mentioned it, before, right? In the other videos. And if you haven't caught those, shame on you, but it's okay. All forgiven. You can catch the whole, the video. And I said, where I just talk about disgusting calls with children, right? The disgusting side of distance learning. I covered it again on another video where we talk about nods, please, right here, where we put it, where we talk about the mother that decides to breastfeed while also on a virtual class. So I've been covering these things, right? And I'm like, okay, that's it. The rest will be just, obnoxious little things. I'm not going to go down this road probably. And here we are again. And the thing is that this is, if you don't know, by the way, who Jeffrey Toobin is, it's not just Jenny Joe Schmo, right? So I'll read a little bit of the article. The New Yorker, which is by the way, a big media publisher, right? They're a big newspaper. They has suspended reporter Jeffrey Toobin for masturbating. I feel like I have to lower my voice because my children are here. I can't even say that. For masturbating on a Zoom video chat between members of the New Yorker and the WNYC radio last week. Toobin says he did not realize his video was on. Our producer over there is like, It's like cochino. He was like, he knew it was on, right? And by the way, what really makes you suspect if the whole thing was on, if it was staged, like what was running through this guy's mind? There's a piece here where people have come out and unfortunately have given their side of the story. And there's a very, very interesting highlight here that essentially says that the Toobin here even turned his laptop towards, the southern area, where he was busy, comforting himself. And it's just, you read the whole thing and you're like, this is no way. This is a guy that's also, by the way, a senior legal analyst on CNN, right? Works for the New Yorker. He's on these very, important calls that many people, many upcoming reporters and journalists wish could be on, right? The guy is pretty much set as far as anybody's concerned, in terms of a career. He's like, you know what? This is boring. You know what's not boring? Bam, bam, chicka, bam, bam. Because I can't do the other sound he's probably, tuning into. And it's just like, yeah, I know you guys do the call. I'm going to be busy over here. And, there's been, like I said earlier, tons of people coming out, giving their complete, you can kind of say, excuse, apologetic, reason as to why maybe Toobin, shouldn't be punished or as Brian Stelter said, sidelined. Yeah. So The Blaze published another article that read, CNN's Brian Stelter complains Jeffrey Toobin has been sidelined at a pivotal moment in an election. Social media takes him to the woodshed. Oh, Brian. Listen, like I said earlier, right? One side of you can be like, hey, it's something natural. In fact, our own writer said that on our article, right? It's something that, people do. Some people are just more open about it. But, that's as far as the excuses can go, right? Saying, hey, people do this. But then there's this whole other very large, real, serious side of what he did, which is just right off the top, you're a place of work, right? If you did that at work, that would be considered what? That's right. So if you are in a virtual meeting, but still at work, that is still considered what? And for those of you guys like, I don't know, what is it considered? It's sexual harassment. Yeah, it's a big deal, right? This is not, something where, he maybe said that to someone, some just banter back and forth. No, this is him outright flipping it out and going to town, according to the reports, according to eyewitnesses, unfortunately. It's one of those things where, yes, you want to have a part of your brain saying, but aren't we in the 21st century? And there's a lot of that going on TikTok. He's not on TikTok. Isn't there a lot going around on? There's even little things called OnlyFans. He's not on OnlyFans, right? Which is what some of these people, excusing him, you might say, are pointing out, saying, "Wow, really surprised?" Yeah. We should definitely be surprised. And here's the worst part of this: is that there's a lot of companies that they were already very hesitant right? To allow individuals to work from home. Of course, many didn't have a choice, and they're like, okay, whatever. Everybody take your laptops. What else do you need? Sure, take it. And then they start hearing these accidents, right, happen. And I'm actually talking about accidents, like internet going down, people breaking their computer. Oh, you thought I was talking about this? No, this is not an accident. And then they hear the accidents. They're like, okay, nothing money can fix. Buy them new laptops. And then they're like, hey, no, did you hear Toobin was playing with the laptop? No, with what? With himself. Oh, well, just don't talk about that. That's really private. He can sue you. Well, you're gonna get sued. CNN, New Yorker, because he was doing it on the job, right? And of course, this can happen right about with anybody. And these employers who already were very edgy about having people remote are like, you know what? As soon as there's a shot or a vaccine, let's get everybody back in the office. And it sucks because I think a lot of people have taken great advantage of being able to do this. A lot of people have been able to do things that before they couldn't, like have dinners and maybe lunch and breakfast with their families. Right. In fact, there was even something that, my wife pointed out, which is a very good point. It's great for the environment in the terms of not so many cars out on the road. Right. Because there's a lot of people that just have their automobile like me just parked out there. And it's been, parked for almost a year now. But all this can potentially easily go away, or the vast majority. As these employers start seeing, well, if it can happen to the New Yorker or / CNN, it can happen, to who? Us. Because we both know Bob is kind of weird. It sucks. It sucks. And it's just in so many different levels. And it just seems like, again, like another oh my God, wow, what? And who did what again? But I think there's bigger consequences, right? Which is, in a way, how I'm going to close out this video. I know it's a very short one. You know how I am, though. I always say close it out and I take another 15 minutes. Remember what I mentioned before, right? Even me, I'm here sitting down sometimes and I'm always looking at the camera, literally, that I'm looking at right now, because I don't remember if it was on, because it's also hooked up to my computer. Is somebody, did I end that call? Yeah, you can say, Jonathan, not everybody has the luxuries you have, having a studio and walking away to another room. Fine. But you know what? We all have the same thing I have. Responsibility, right? The responsibility. It falls on us, right? You can say there as an employee, the responsibility is on my employer to provide me a laptop with the webcam if they want me to attend these Zoom calls. That's fair. That's actually very fair. Depending on the state you live in, it's actually legal that they have to provide those kind of tools if they're going to actually require you to attend such meetings, right? But you know what falls on you? The responsibility. The responsibility of charging your laptop. The responsibility of making sure you don't lose your power plug, and you know what? Another one, just if you can, don't touch yourself inappropriately while you're on a Zoom call. That's just another one, Sure, the charging a laptop, that comes first, Toobin. But if you can, please keep your pants on. And it's a shame, right? Because I think a lot of people take it very lightly. They'll have things in the background, people walking around. And it just, again, it blows my mind that people, while this is new, and I get it, you don't have that common sense. Because really, let's be honest, that's really what it is here. That's what's missing, right? A lot of people are like, you're going to say it's critical thinking, right? Like you always do. No, this time it's common sense, right? It's, how about you don't have what you did last night, whatever it is that you entertain you and your spouse with, or by yourself, on your bed while you're on your call, right? And I don't have that video, but I remember seeing something like that on TikTok where somebody got caught and they're like, oh my God, this was in your background. And someone got, there's this girl that she received a text and she, I don't know if it was staged or not, but she acted like, oh my God, sorry. And there's a lot of those little videos, right? And it's just like, common sense, guys. If you're going to show up to a call and you look like crap because you, be honest, you just woke up and you just, oh my God, I'm late for the meeting. It's not the end of the world. You look unprofessional. You should get up like you do every morning for work anyways, but it's okay. There's been also these parodies of people saying, hey, I only wear like really nice clothes from my waist up, right? Or whatever's on camera, like right now. But maybe I'm not wearing, appropriate, pants. Maybe I'm just, on my, on shorts or something, right? Or you know what? Even your underwear, but you're not getting up, right? I don't want everybody to think right now like, JT, what are you wearing? I'm wearing pants. I swear. You can't see it, but I'm wearing pants. Like, what is he wearing? No, I'm wearing pants. For reals. I'm wearing pants. But, it's funny. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Whatever. You can wear pajama pants, but you're wearing all very appropriate clothing on top. Fine. Right? But it fares so, out of sight and compared to just going to town. And then when I read the whole and he turned the side thing down, it's just like, why? It does make you think, did he know? Does he want to get fired? Does he want to get sued? Listen, yes, it is something everybody does, or I shouldn't say everybody, but many people do. It is something that, yes, many of these individuals online saying it's normal, stop, what's the word? Stop, what they were saying, essentially saying, stop making it taboo, stop shaming him, right? And, I'm definitely with the crowd that's like, we're not really trying to shame him. He shamed himself. Furthermore, what really sucks is that there's people now saying, well, and this one really got me. I actually personally replied to this person on Twitter. Well, come on. Is this really news? We all know all guys are nasty. There's something along those lines. It's not verbatim, but sure. Yeah, I definitely take it personal because, for one, of course, it's an absolute all men. That's moronic, right? But even then, even if the person just, they're being a little extra just to get their point across. I think a lot of people feel like that way, specifically women, and it hurts, the overall image of what men do and don't do, right? Well, we find as men decent, and we find indecent. And no, of course not. Not all men decide to expose themselves on a meeting, on a business meeting. When there's men or women, by the way, doing things like, again, OnlyFans, doing it, on their spare time. That's actually kind of like their job. They provide services of that nature online. Go for it. Do it as much as you want to. That's very different than when you are expected to be on a business call. Right? Now, Ben Shapiro also touched base, on this story. And there's something that kind of stood out from what he said, which I disagree. And it was something very, very simple. He's like, oh, it's just Zoom calls. They're kind of stupid. They're kind of dumb. They're useless. I disagree. I don't know how he runs his company. I don't know what his experience has been with Zoom calls, but I profoundly disagree. Why? Because as a person that does a lot of training and has people working all over, in terms of worldwide, I do a lot of virtual calls, a lot, way before the pandemic, and it has helped me greatly. In fact, I love to see the people that I work with because I like to have the interaction, the human interaction, right? When I can't have them here because, again, they're somewhere else in the world, I'll make do with this, right? I'm very thankful that there's such technology that I can actually see someone and kind of have a conversation, and then being able to see their faces when I say, hey, you get it, right? And they're like, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't look like you get it. All right, let's go over it again. I'm not with him on him kind of, I don't want to say justifying, but saying, Zoom calls are kind of dumb anyways. I disagree with him, right? Zoom calls, I hope, are here to stay. I hope that as these employers decide to not get scared over these incidents, they even enforce Zoom calls. And they say, hey, everybody must be on webcam because, it's like you're at the office. And for those of you guys, I hope there's not a big percentage of you saying, well, if I'm at home, I can dress however I like, I can look however I like, I can have whatever I want in the background. In fact, if I want to, I'll touch myself. I'm sorry, I'm not with you. Yeah, don't, because you couldn't do that at your place of work. Now, unless you work at a very cool hipster location where you can wear sandals or even go with shorts or underwear, I guess, maybe. But it wouldn't be like that, right? In the real world, where you would go into an office, there would be at the very least some kind of standard for clothing, right? Even if there was not professional, slacks required, it would be some kind of standard like, hey, maybe don't come naked. Hey, maybe don't touch yourself while you're at your desk, kind of thing, So you wouldn't do that at work. Don't come at me with saying, "Wow, I'm at home." No, because being at home, while for some it's an inconvenience because I don't know, maybe they don't want to be with their spouses, maybe they get lonely by themselves. I don't know. It doesn't matter. For many people, it's a blessing, right? For many. So if it is a blessing, treat it as such, as a blessing. I said, hey, you know what? I get to wake up 10 minutes before my meeting, throw some water on my face, and go to my computer instead of having to get up an hour, maybe an hour and a half, even 30 minutes just to get up, take a shower, make sure I don't smell funny, get into my car, and I have to deal with all those, issues with getting from point A to point B, right? So, this is one of those things that I hope anybody watching this that is having regular Zoom calls, you keep in mind, right? At the end, I guess, just like the other videos I've talked about, Zoom calls and issues like that, I hope really that's what you take away from this is even if you're a parent with children, right? Have that, in your conscience of saying, you know what, would I want other parents or other children's parents to see me walk behind with my bata, just like, all sleepy, yelling in the background. Maybe I don't want my kid to witness that. So I'm not going to do it to them. Or, hey, do I want my other coworkers to come in looking like they just woke up horrendously, just like an eyesore? Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. Really, that's what this is, right? Kind of like do unto others as you wish others, to do unto you kind of thing, right? Just a little thing there for you to think about. All right, that's it for today. I'll leave you guys with just very, very quick updates. I mentioned it before, but I'm not sure for those of you guys that are not normal, regular watchers, or maybe it's your first time here. I am going to be starting another channel, which I'm actually very, very, very excited about. And that is the streaming crit. And for everybody's like, you mean critic? No. Unfortunately, that was taken. And it's by someone that hasn't posted anything on Twitter since 2017 or something. And has like 2 videos on YouTube. And I definitely wasn't doing anything with it. But, I'm not going to go through the troubles of having to fight for it. It's not worth it. So the streaming crit. And if you say, well, crit, what does that mean? It actually means critic. It is. It's a weird, I don't know, chop of word for critic. It's legit. Look it up, So yeah, it's going to be coming on, and I'm really excited about it because I'm going to be reviewing movies and stuff like that, like every other nerd. Yeah, so it'll be real fun. I hope you guys can tune into that one as well. It won't be all down and just these, these conversations where it's like, another one to make me depressed. No, actually, it'll be fun. I'll make them as fun as I can. I promise. Any other updates that I'm forgetting? That's it. My wife's like, that's it. Cut it. She's cutting me out. Sorry, guys. I gotta go. Bye. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching the JTH show. Remember, you can catch all the episodes, full episodes, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Radio Public. You can also visit www.thejthshow.com to catch episodes there and to catch anything that we had to blur out because of YouTube or any other platform. We usually put all of our raw information in there that is uncensored. You can also become a member at www.thejthshow.com to catch all the special perks. Thanks for watching.